they were roughly the third highest rank you can achieve in the game, some of them even being the second highest.
Yeah,
which comes to the point where you can play like world's level of professional.
So that was definitely intimidating.
I heard the horror stories,
and
then Miss Engineer being like, I beat them.
He did hold his own as far as top lane is concerned, so that was excellent.
I mean, everyone on the team's got real skill. Just sometimes there's just really unfortunate matchups when it comes to experience.
Yeah. So odd seating, but it is what it is, and we move on. So we are here and we are live in game. Forgive the mouse. We're going to be doing some of this right quick. Sure. And we can put objective timers on as well. Excellent.
It seems like both sides are being very cautious of an invade given how aggressive CEI's team is. I don't think anything's gonna happen, but wait a minute, it looks like they're going for a 5-man invade top lane, and nobody's really aware of what's going on here.
So some information spotted by Marmalade, and so that is good on behalf of Miss Engineer. The last thing we want is an early tilted
Mid laner.
yes, mid laner and as well top laner. We don't need any pain to Miss Engineer on the top lane. So, but it looks like things kind of go back to normal.
Yeah, looks like things are same. It looks like things are going to be nice and calm for probably in most lanes for the first 2 levels, since both sides have a very strong level 1. But something I think you'll personally find exciting, because I know you're not the biggest League guy.
No.
The character that Jedi Ninjas is playing has the ability to disguise themselves as other champions and natural creatures on the field.
Oh, interesting.
So it'll be interesting how they can put that disguise mechanism to use for like ganks in the bot lane and the top lane.
Yeah, definitely.
And it looks like the Shen is going in. They hit the level 2 right on time, but it looks like they're still losing the trade.
We'll have to
No, they're going back in to go on Bacon, and they got first blood on the Shen support.
Easy Breeze is just gonna have to try to get back under tower, and just barely gets
almost
away.
Dies, but it looks like, and the Scion almost dies. It's already turning into a slugfest.
Wow. Okay, so one of the things that we highlighted right off the beginning, if you recall, was how important it is for bot lane to just have a very clean game. It doesn't need to be anything necessarily over the top as far as performance goes. They just need to be able to hold their own, so that way moves can be made
revolving around them. Yeah,
precisely.
But if something like that continues happening, bot lane might very much get pushed out of the game, because that was a very clean engage by Honda Civic abuser. Should I call him HDA for short?
Maybe just Honda.
But it was a very well-timed flash into a level 2. They were very clearly paying attention to their XP amounts when they went in there, and it just appears that CEI wasn't ready for it.
Ooh.
If they keep on making plays like that, it might be very difficult for bot lane to get back into the game. And it looks like Honda is going to be roaming to make sure that jungle and mid have prio. And it seems like Shadekeeper might go down here.
Marmalade to the rescue,
unless
though.
If Marmalade can save him, and the Bel'Veth wastes Flash there, and Shadekeeper survives, getting a free kill.
Wow, I did not think Shadekeeper was going to be able to get away there.
Oh, absolutely. That must have been like 5 HP.
I was really curious to see how Marmalade was going to try to handle that, because there was 3 members there on the side of University of Idaho, really just trying to beat up on the jungle. But here comes Marmalade for an early engage with Jedi Ninjas, and back and forth so far. Jedi Ninjas so far worse for wear.
If only Marmalade had the tiniest bit more mana, Nico would have perished there. But it's alright, they're both going to back off of this little engagement. They're both low on HP and mana, so they kind of have nothing else they can do at the moment. And it looks like the rest of the lanes are kind of just chilling, waiting for another moment to strike.
Definitely.
And it seems like Honda's going to go back in again. They're getting some really effective trades here against CEI, and there's not a whole lot they can do against it if they keep focusing Shen into these engages.
Yeah, already life just really, really uncomfortable for the bottom lane. We can see kind of Shadekeeper just hovering within the area, you know, for a potential, I don't know, just if they need assistance there in the bottom lane. So I'm
just to be ready to act on command.
Precisely, because they're not going to want to give that up. They're going to want to have this turret up as long as possible, just to maintain defense. But so far, things not totally out of control. Relatively speaking, it is kind of sixes, back and forth. Not too much of a gold lead by way of U of I, although I say that and we are approaching 1K, so that's something to definitely keep an eye on.
And the thing is, the way their team currently is set up, if bot lane gets knocked out now, and it looks like Marmalade's getting ulted by the Nico. I doubt that.
What?
It looks like Marmalade's gonna get out, but just barely, unless if that ignite kills. Nope, Marmalade lives with 1 HP after barely escaping the 1v2 in mid lane.
Now,
what a mad lad.
Was that only one ult that came out?
Yes.
For U of I? Okay.
So U of I, the Nico ult went out.
Gotcha.
Then Marmalade stole Nico ult and casted it himself.
Okay, excellent. Really well played there from Marmalade just to get out, because really, if things get out of hand in mid lane, survivability is going to be so important for Marmalade as he goes up against Jedi Ninjas, because Jedi Ninjas will be able to exploit that mid lane if things get out of hand really early on.
Absolutely. Jedi Ninja's macro and mechanical skill when it comes to fighting is, in my opinion, almost unmatched. But it looks like bot lane's finally getting a trade in on Honda after the bullying that was being accomplished earlier.
Well done by Easy
With
Breeze.
the double flash and the cleanse, they're able to get the kill on Honda.
And it looks like they want more.
Oh, absolutely. As long as Brahm's here, if they can get that 4-hit passive off on Xayah before she hits 6, that is a free kill.
Oh!
And it looks like Xayah's down to like 100, maybe 200 HP, but she's now 6, so she can probably stop a tower dive if done improperly. But it looks like the bot lane is transitioning up for a dragon.
Okay, interesting.
And it seems like Marmalade has power in the mid lane, so Nico might not be able to join for this fight so long as Marmalade keeps that wave pushed in. But Marmalade has to be super, super careful about dodging these abilities, otherwise they might just lose the dragon and he won't be able to help them with the fight in bot lane. But it looks like they have claimed first to dragon as top lane turns into a complete brawl fest. And with both top laners using ults, top lane is out of ultimates and for the most part summoner spells, leaving Sion to just kind of clear the wave while he can get while he's getting poked out by Fiora. Seems like Marmalade's really struggling against this matchup against a Jedi Ninja. Seems like he's getting poked out really, really hard.
Sure, and you know, maybe silver lining in some props for, again, survivability, but ultimately, I don't know. Blows really just going back and forth right now, but it does look like Marmalade is, I would say, probably a little uncomfortable there in the mid lane.
It's definitely going to make it hard for him to get the XP and the gold he needs if people are going to be pushing out of lane so often. But I believe if Marmalade can get a little bit of items going, the poking won't be so bad because his healing will start to really ramp up through the rest of the laning phase. But he is really doing well to make sure that no kills are being distributed to the enemy despite how aggressive they are playing for him. So always kudos to surviving very rough situations. Sorry, we were having an earthquake for a second. But it looks like there is currently a fight going off for Rift Herald to make sure that Bel'Veth cannot get her enhanced passive going on. And it looks like it's going to be a 2v2 up in the top lane. Maybe Fiora can get the kill here, but it looks like Bel'Veth just barely escapes. But Fiora is going to try and dive her under tower, and it looks like bot lane's also going into a slugfest with Easy Breeze going, Bacon going down, and Easy Breeze might just follow.
The Misengineer will follow. Wow. Okay, so things really
amped up there for a second.
Yes, lots of fighting everywhere across the map. CEI certainly coming out worse for wear, at least right now.
The ADC died, the top lane died. They were able to stop UOI from taking Rift Heralds, but the way those plays turned out make this very difficult. And now that bot lane, both of them are level 6, I'm expecting to see Honda use Shen ult to impact other parts of the map.
Okay.
Unless if they manage to kill Xayah.
Wow.
That was a really nice... They really timed for the end of that recall to make sure that she went down. And it looks like Marmalade is going to try and go after Nico, but she does a masterful duplicate and just completely loses his summoner for that. And it appears that she's trying to set up Bel'Veth for another gank, but Shadekeeper's also here for the same purpose.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be another slugfest. And there's a TP from the Scion in top lane. Shadekeeper's now dealing with the 4v1. I don't think he gets out here, especially with the triple ults.
Yeah, how could he? Wow. Really well played on the side of U of I.
Oh, absolutely.
Jagger picking up the double kill.
They very much picked a team comp where they can just send everyone out at a moment's notice. However, Silent's probably going to struggle because Miss Engineer is starting to take those plates, and she's probably Miss Engineer is probably going to get Divine Cinder soon, which will make her an absolute monster. And it looks like bot lane's trying to create some pressure with the support being gone, but it doesn't look like they have that clearing power for just a second.
So then, if you don't mind speaking to a layman such as myself, someone extremely uneducated,
I wouldn't say that.
No. Now,
you've made it through the tutorial.
Now, when Braum has the shield activated, how much damage is that actually mitigating? Is it?
So the way Braum shield works is it basically works two ways: versus melees and versus ranged attacks. If it's a ranged attack, it reduces damage by 100%.
Wow.
So literally 0 damage can be coming from an auto attack towards Braum.
Okay.
However, if it's melee, I want to say it's close to like 50-ish%, but I could be mistaken. I haven't played Braum in a long time. But it looks like Miss Engineer is really going in here, bullying the Scion for what they did earlier. If Miss Engineer is able to get the kill here, it might be helpful in establishing that lead top lane. But it looks...
So often I just want to say, curse you, directed camera. show me the action. That's okay, though. There's action elsewhere.
There's action everywhere. It does look like the Scion managed to escape, despite Miss Engineer's best intentions, and he keeps on surviving with like 1 HP,
yeah.
But it seems like despite what's going on in top lane, people are currently brewing for a big brawl in the bottom river.
Oh, that almost looked like a misstep by Easy Breeze, and honestly it still might be. That said, there is 3 here for CEI, and then a 4th if you count Marmalade.
But the thing you have to keep in mind is that Scion can get over there very quickly with his ults.
Yeah.
And there's also, you know, Shen using his ults to come over. And although Miss Engineer is really forcing Scion up in the top lane, her Fiora's TP isn't up, so she can't join for this fight for whatever's going down. But it looks like whatever was happening in the bot side of the jungle has just been completely avoided.
There was some sizzle, but yeah.
Some sizzle for shizzle.
Nothing to come of it thus far.
But CEI is going to have to be very careful shortly, since University of Idaho managed to get the Rift Herald. Bel'Veth still has her enhanced passive for, I want to say, another 1.5 minutes, which she's a relatively new character, but the way she works is if she is one of the people that kills Rift Herald, she can turn enemy waves, so their natural minions, into her own waves.
Wow, okay.
And with Rift Herald being able to do as much damage to towers as it currently does, CEI could very easily get overwhelmed if they don't play super careful, but it looks like they're going to go on the Belveth to stop them from getting Drake. How?
Wow, okay.
Wow, University of Idaho still managed to get the Drake despite the 1v3 drop on them. Honda trying to keep them alive, but despite that, it was just a little bit too much damage for them to deal with. But University of Idaho is definitely going to take revenge for what CEI just did, getting a triple kill here. Triple kill here, I assume.
You're good.
English is hard.
Yeah, it's my first language and I still struggle with it, so.
I am fluent in it and I still somehow manage to struggle.
I'm learning it every day.
But it seems that whatever play CEI wanted to make down for that dragon just did not work out.
And honestly, kind of
but it looks
great
like,
idea. Oh, sorry.
It looks like Marmalade's really going for the Honda trying to save him again with a flash for that shield that just was a little bit not enough distance, but it really seems like Honda here is putting as much pressure onto the map as they possibly can, trying to effectively work as a second jungler despite being a support. It is very interesting to see how much pressure they're able to exert despite not getting a whole lot of resources. But sorry for cutting.
No, we needed to go where you were taking us there.
Beautiful flash from the Zaya of U of Idaho, getting an 8 feather off onto Bacon there.
You're good. I was also trying to so I'm glad you found it before I did, because I may not have ever found the name.
It's just currently being a brawl fest in the bot lane. Silas took Honda's ult so that they could TP at a moment's notice, and it looks like a 1v2 is going to be happening in the top lane. I believe Miss Engineer can get out here as long as they're careful, but that Scion ult really is messing with them, and unfortunately Miss Engineer goes down from the 1v2. Couldn't quite outplay since her parry was on cooldown. Oh, there's a lot of action going on.
There is a lot of action going on. This is so I'll admittedly I was a little worried because I didn't know if one team was going to potentially dominate over the other. So to see that it is quite a bit of back and forth, I'm pleased to be able to see that there's a lot of action. It is intense, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from both teams. Certainly thus far, I would say CEI's probably made. Not probably. I know for certain that they've kind of made too many mistakes. They've maybe overstepped just one too many times.
Wow. Jedi Ninja's managing to dodge the triple ult that went on in mid lane.
Wow.
And I would absolutely agree with you. Although CEI is definitely trying to put up a fight, they are starting to approach that gold deficit that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, true.
With them getting really strong here. It looks like University of Idaho wants to take a fight here in 3v4. And I'm not sure exactly how this is going to play out, as it seems they're running from the fight. But Nico goes in for an ult and gets a triple ult off. The Shen trying to keep the Belveth alive.
Wow.
The Belveth lives and gets ult off. The Belveth can probably get out here. No, so close. CEI managing to turn that fight onto University of Idaho despite that amazing fight going on. And it looks like Honda just goes straight for the Lucian and kills him. I don't know if Honda can get out here, but they might be able to take the Braum with them. It appears that Honda has died to Marmalade in that 1v2.
So the Braum will stay up. That's pretty big.
I will say this. Honda is really acting like a second jungler here. The amount of force they're putting on, the amount of times they've saved their allies, and even just the sheer damage they're putting out is making it really hard for CEI to deal with just all of the pressure he's exerting.
So based on what we've seen so far, what are some of the positives that we're seeing coming out from the side of U of I to start?
So some definite things that I have taken notice of is that their coordination when it comes to going for all-ins as a team is just godlike. With all of the abilities and ults they have available, especially the summoner spells, they can turn a 1v4 into a 4v4 in less than 3 seconds, which can definitely surprise CEI as it did earlier for one of those early fights. Another thing they really have going for them is scaling. They've been getting a lot of objectives. all of their characters are useful late game, and the way they're focusing around the Bel'Veth in the jungle is going to make it very difficult for CEI to shut Bel'Veth down if they're not able to get past the enemy front line quickly. And it looks like CEI University of Idaho are fighting, and it looks like a 3v4 popped out. And the enemy, Zaya, is currently working on getting almost a quadra kill here if they're able to get another couple of autos off. If they're... Oh my god! The enemy ADC for... sorry, not enemy. The University of Idaho's ADC managed to win a 1v3 by herself.
And that is all 5 players down right now. Excuse me, now 4. Easy Breeze will respond. But that is 4 down still.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
And with Bel'Veth getting the second Rift Herald, she has her enhanced passive back, making all these extra waves. Easy Breeze is not going to be able to stop it. And if they continue the way they're going, they might just end right here, right now.
This is a massive opening on the side of University of Idaho.
Absolutely. Miss Engineer managed to lose one of the 1v1s, and they just took everything up there. They're going to really struggle to come back from that.
Wow.
Because that just increased the gold lead from 5k 2 minutes ago to almost a 9k lead, which is something you typically won't come back from unless they manage to make some really good plays here, which they might just do so onto the Sound here if they're able to get him without him flashing over the wall. But it looks like he's just trying to get out.
He does get away.
Sound does get out, and University of Idaho claims another objective. It's going to be very scary for CEI if they're not able to catch up here. If University of Idaho gets Ocean Soul with the way the currently being led, and it looks like Nico gets another double ult off as the Zaya is trying to get as many kills out as possible. I'm gonna be honest, I think CEI can't come back from this.
I concur. I'm totally with you on that. U of I, ever since they found that first opening to really
just been mercilessly cracking down on that.
The snowball has only gotten bigger. We've got multiple snowmen out here on the field. U of I is just having a heyday.
Call it December, the way it just be filled with snow.
Yeah, seriously.
But something I would also mention with University of Idaho, as you also stated, is that once they've created that crack, they really know how to exploit it. For example, especially when it comes to Honda, their CC really gives an opening for all of their carries to just let loose. For example, what just happened here, Honda got a triple CC off on using a single ability, which just allowed the Zaya and the Bel'Veth to really do whatever they wanted there. And it seemed as if the first match is going to go to University of Idaho. Although CEI is still trying to put up as much of a fight as they can, given how difficult they were at that point.
So game number 1 will go the way of University of Idaho. Very well played by them. They saw the opening and they took it and they never looked back. CEI is going to be scrambling a little bit. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out
what they need to change for their strategy
precisely
to overcome what University just pulled.
Precisely.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So if you want to see like a continued... Okay.
Minions have spawned.
Alrighty.
It looks like the beginning of the game thus far has been uneventful, which can be nice sometimes. But
Well, let me ask this right off the rip. Would either team really have an advantage in level 1 fights?
CEI definitely.
Okay.
The amount of CC they have and the damage from their level 1 abilities make them a very hard contentious, which kind of makes me surprised they didn't try and do anything.
Sure.
But as you can see, what happened mid lane, that's why it's called Disco Nunoing. You messed up once, and now Marmalade lost 80% of their HP.
Dang it. Well, and that was always going to be a really tough matchup regardless of the champion. Marmalade versus
absolutely.
Jedi Ninjas, just because of just how mechanically sound Jedi Ninjas is. I mean, truth be told,
He could probably beat me in a 1v1.
yeah, we'll set it up after this.
You better be scared. I am humble like a lion, but I will fight like a wuss.
That's fair. So let's take care of the in-game sound right quick, just to make sure. I'm assuming that's what's happening
There's
there.
some major fighting going on mid lane. It looks like Jedi Ninjas is going to be first blood thanks
Wow.
to the Mumu Flash, as well as the Nunu Flash and Ignite. Jedi Ninjas is going to have to be very careful since they don't really have any escape options if they do make a mistake here.
So I'm also looking at chat real quick. I know that you are a little bit further behind than us as we were watching. We were muted intentionally there for a moment, so we'll see it in roughly 2 minutes if you can hear us now. However, a trade did come out on the side of UOI.
So since Shadekeeper got a little bit greedy after that play mid when he lost so much HP, it appears that Jagger Graves went for an invade and finished off Shadekeeper and stole the blue buff that he was farming. That's going to give that gold lead that Shadekeeper had earlier completely useless now that the Briar has double CS and the same kill. But it will be interesting because it seems like top lane, although the CS is a little bit low for this engineer, he is winning the brawls themselves, which can be very useful. And bot lane really hasn't had much happen down there just yet.
I don't know. I'm seeing U of I send 3 bot lane, so there is potential for something really scary there.
Oh, absolutely. But CEI is just kind of trying to avoid that right now. They know they don't have the pressure, but it looks like Easy Breeze is getting a masterful hook and E off on the rel to get that damage off. Very solid trade.
The boys are back. Thank you, Grim, for checking in on me. Someone needs to.
Am I not good enough for you, Tucker?
Listen, we're lost together. So Grim has found us. I appreciate you, Grim.
But thus far, the game has been very interesting. It looks like Marmalade's not even caring about the damage Jedi Ninja's putting out. He just keeps on healing off the minion wave, and it looks like he's going to try to engage again. But it looks like the snowball just isn't going to land. But Marmalade just is kind of playing like a menace.
Fair play. Fair play to him.
Absolutely. He's trying to bully Jedi Ninjas. He doesn't have a whole lot of mana, and the rel is there from University of Idaho, so he's kind of 1v2ing right now. But he's going to need to get a back soon, otherwise he's going to be unable to exert any pressure this game. And it looks like Jedi Ninja knows this and is trying to shove the wave as quickly as possible. And it looks like the top lane is slowly just dragging themselves down with all the fighting. They're both becoming so low on HP, and Malphite is very low on mana exclusively. Miss Engineer might be able to make a play here if the Malphite makes a mistake.
And that's probably why Miss Engineer is not looking to, let off with the pressure, simply because he can see, or he knows what the Malphite might be dealing with personally. So,
but it appears that Miss Engineer might have a little bit of a guest in the top lane in the form of Briar, but it appears that Briar has backed, so Miss Engineer can do what they need to do without worry too much of outside influence. And it looks like a bunch of CEI is currently gathering mid to maybe try and get a pick on Jedi Ninjas, but he's already long gone. And Miss Engineer is just continuing to lay that pressure. They do not want Malphite to back, and now Miss Engineer has the CS lead up in the top lane. And Malphite can't farm very effectively without his mana, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they react to that. And Marmalade was able to get a solid snowball off on Jedi Ninjas. Still not really caring about the damage, but it looks like they're going to be creating a fight in the bot lane. We might be able to see something interesting here coming from the Blitzcrank, but it appears that University of Idaho is completely backed off, and CEI looks to be slightly unsure of what they really need to do. But if the solid flash from Jedi Ninjas, if they hadn't flashed there, Shadekeeper would have hooked onto them, and that would have been a very dead Xerath. But it looks like not much is going to be happening from that play. Xerath lost their flash. CEI is more than happy to take that, and both sides are currently planning to eventually fight over this next dragon.
Oh, good hook.
Easy Breeze is getting some solid hooks off. Rel might die here, but it looks like Bacon is going to get hit by the Briar ult, and they're going to try and run him down so hard. Unfortunately, he does go down. I do believe Shadekeeper will be able to catch up, unless if Jagger Graves flashes like that. Now Shadekeeper's going down. Easy Breeze might die next under tower, especially with the Xerath ult coming through.
Wow.
University of Idaho just got a triple kill for free, despite having such a great engage and pick on that Rel early. They just didn't have the damage to quickly kill the Rel and then back off. But as previously stated, it looks like Kindred's starting to get that lead, which means CEI is going to be very, very afraid of her, unless if they can get a really good amount of ults.
It's gonna be interesting to see, because so far the foothold not in favor of CEI, so there's gonna have to be some early adaptation on the side of CEI just to see how they try to combat really the I don't know, the tomfoolery, so to speak, that's happening on the side of U of I. They've been playing this early game extremely well.
Oh, absolutely. And Easy Breeze trying to get a cheeky hook off on the Briar after the objective, but just a little bit out of reach. But currently in top lane, both of them kind of haven't done anything yet. They're just like,
Yeah.
we're up here. Which eventually should transition into strong item leads. But it looks like Easy Breeze is going to try and get something mid, but unfortunately
just
gets
misses.
hit by the CC from Jedi Ninja and isn't able to do a whole lot here. And it looks like they're just trying to get a pick off somewhere, but in the meantime, they're kind of just losing some objective pressure in like the jungle. Bot lane is by itself for Bacon. Looks like they're going to try and go for Jagger Graves here. I'm not sure if Amumu and Blitzcrank beat it, especially not now with Rel showing up in Briar ult. Now, something that Shadekeeper is going to have to be very careful of is Briar now has a 2-level lead. And since Amumu doesn't have an ult, it's going to be very hard for them to shut down Briar. And she's just going to keep going. I believe Bacon might kill the Briar, but nope. Gets them off of them effectively. And Jedi Ninja lands another ult on the ADC, killing them. I hate to say it, but it looks like CEI is really, really struggling here.
Don't listen. I don't hate it. I don't hate you saying that. You're speaking.
Just don't manifest.
No, you are speaking absolute facts as far as I'm concerned.
And it looks like top lane's also going to be slugfest, but it looks like Miss Engineer gets the first kill in top lane. Finally, the farming has gotten results.
I don't know though. Is that could just be a silver lining at this point? Things have just not gone the way for the bot lane. The jungle's not been as effective, I'm sure, as they would wanted to be. They're just further down in the level. Well, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, since they're a little bit behind, comeback gold is going to come into play, and objective gold is going to come into play. And since Miss Engineer's playing Mordekaiser, they're one of the strongest 1v1 duelists, so even if they only get a little bit of lead in the top lane, they should be able to shut down maybe not the jungle, but definitely the Kindred or the Xerath if they manage to get on top of them.
Sure.
But until that point where they can actually land it, with an Easy Breeze landing a masterful hook, unable to really act on it, but
yeah, the ADC just not there to help with that punish.
I wouldn't have expected that hook to land either.
That's fair. That's fair.
But they're clearing vision just in case if Briar came bot again. But CEI is just, if they can get that little bit of a lead, and Easy Breeze landing another solid hook.
However,
they're still struggling to really get the damage on the Kindred, but it looks like Kindred is indeed going down, giving Bacon a huge amount of money. I don't think they'll be able to kill the Rel, but this might be the comeback gold they need to be able to start impacting the map more.
And I should have checked before that at Engage, but I want to say that UOI had about a 5k, maybe pushing 6k lead Marmalade here.
Getting run down by a 1v3.
Wow.
Unfortunate.
And Jedi, like you say, doing that like long distance engage, just able to poke and kind of be a menace there.
Yeah, they are doing Jedi Ninja's doing everything they can to just not interact with the Nunu, dodging the abilities, and then just dishing out the hardest hits they can muster. But even though they did get that comeback gold, it looks like Shadekeeper might be ran down here from the Briar,
And
which
he
is
is.
unfortunate, but he just doesn't have the pressure to step up because Shadekeeper is lacking gold, lacking XP. Marmalade is also lacking gold and XP because it's very hard to farm against a bunch of ranged people. And although bot lane did get that shutdown, they're still behind a level and 30-ish CS. So the gold lead, I think, will only keep expanding unless they manage to get the shutdown on Briar and the shutdown on Zera, which will give them that, jumpstart that they need.
But I don't know, potentially. I'm still not incredibly hopeful for the side of CEI. There's the mountain, or excuse me, it's a hill that's turning into a mountain. It's going to be too much to climb at some point.
They will have to deal with the curse of Sisyphus this day. But it looks like Easy Breeze, they're going on the Jedi Ninjas really, really hard here, using 2 ults to secure the kill there, and it went on Marmalade. And since it appears they're going full AP, I imagine the Nunu will soon turn into a nuclear bomb when they roll into a lane.
Listen, 2 ults going out on the side of CEI onto Jedi?
Yes.
That was personal.
Oh, absolutely.
That was absolutely
They're
personal.
like, we know what you've been doing.
No.
But it looks like Briar landed an ult onto the onto Shadekeeper, and it looks like they lose Dragon here.
And
Not sure if that was a bug when Easy Breeze hooked the Briar into the wall.
oh
but
no.
I don't think CEI is going to win this fight. Oh, Easy Breeze making a very questionable hook there, dragging.
I just don't know. The decision making so far.
Bacon is also going down here. They will all die from this play, and that makes University Idaho's gold lead now 5k.
And at what cost? And here, yeah, we see Miss Engineer. I'm still top lane, guys. I'm doing my job.
Nothing has happened.
What are you guys doing?
Unfortunately, Miss Engineer is going to deal with the curse of top lane. They farm for 20 minutes, nothing happens, and then they lose. But I don't know if CEI can come back from this. They've gotten a very similar goal to deficit as last game, but even faster. And with just the amount of pressure they have in every lane except, top lane, because nothing's happening up there.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if CEI will be able to have the necessary item pressure and just movement to be able to kill the enemy. And it looks like Briar lands another ult going in again onto Marmalade. And they're just trying their hardest to continue shoving down the lead. But CEI not really responding super hard, with, again, Miss Engineer being in the top lane. They're not willing to sacrifice their lane here, because this is the only lead they've got, really, for their team. And just Bacon being in the bot lane trying to get CS and the tower began, but he's definitely going to die.
He's just going to be run down here.
They're getting really desperate to get resources, and it's causing them a lot of problems.
That is just so unfortunate. And, in games gone by, we've seen more of a tandem between jungle and mid, so Shadekeeper and Marmalade. And we've honestly, in game 1 and in game 2, we haven't really seen much of that duo.
Like they did in the first couple of matches.
That's right.
Of the season.
That's right. So the coordination truly just lacking, and I feel like they've just gone full send, that being the side of CEI, just trying to claw back and get a hold of anything. But in doing so,
they're
just
making a lot of questionable plays.
They just continue to overextend, and it's just not working out in their favor. And this might be.
But it looks like Miss
Maybe not.
Engineer is able to get the ult on Jedi Ninjas. If they can land an E or another Q,
Wow,
they get the kill here. Shadekeeper and Bacon might also get the Kindred here, but they have Bacon. Come on, you can do it. E for him, no. The Kindred manages to escape, and Bacon is really pushing hard, but Ryer is coming around, and they will hunt Bacon down like a dog in the street. But I don't know, that play was very questionable. Top lane worked out very well, but again, it looks like just keeps on overextending. Bacon's gonna die due to the bleed of Ryer auto attacks.
Yeah.
Her DOT is not something you want to mess around with, especially when she's 10-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah.
Truly.
The Briar has made no mistake of how much they are in control of this game. And Marmalade barely managed to survive. And Jedi Ninja with a charged Q right out of nowhere. And then Miss Engineer, praise their heart, is getting 1v3.
Bless their heart indeed. Holy cow.
And now the gold lead's almost 10k again, which was towards the end of the last match. CEI, I don't think can come back again. I know I keep saying that, but it's just tragic to watch how hard they're fighting, but they just don't have the oomph in their swings.
No, unfortunately, and that's just a matter of fact.
But it appears though that Mordekaiser's getting to the point where they might soon be able to start putting up a fight. University of Idaho has been claiming all the objectives, and they're probably going to claim this tower up in the top lane. But again, there's always the comeback potential from Blitzcrank hooks, from Amumu ults. They always have that ability to make that difference just anywhere in these fights. And it looks like Easy Breeze is trying to get a roam off here, and they might just get Jedi Ninjas. But Malphite also is here, and he is going to make sure Jedi Ninja lives, and that Marmalade will probably die here because Jedi Ninjas uses ult again, and he just wasn't able to dodge. And it looks like it's going to be another death for Shakekeep. That is an ace on the enemy team except for Mordekaiser and the Blitzcrank, but Mordekaiser's definitely going to die here. That CEI now also lost the next objective. Unless, so close to killing Jedi Ninjas there, Miss Engineer with the 1v2, but CEI making desperate plays. They lost both fronts of that battle, and it just forces them down. And it looks like someone on the CEI team tried to surrender.
Interesting.
I think they realize that they just can't compete this game. A 12-0 jungle.
Oh, why are we
like
loading?
We got. Just hit play again. It should be able to just push back. Oh, nope, never mind. There we go.
It did that last time. How annoying. We're back, everybody.
Well, League is very well known for being a small indie company. Their client is only sometimes buggy.
Fun fact, you didn't miss anything. Things are still going the way of UOI, and it's been that way since really since the server loaded. So
oh, absolutely. And it looks like Marmalade making a very questionable play here, going for a 2v4 with no assistance from the rest of their team. Not entirely sure what their plan was there, but I believe University of Idaho is going to take this Baron, recall, and then just end the game. They're going to have roughly a 13k lead, which, for reference, is a full item for everyone on their team over the enemy.
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot that can happen here.
It's just been unfortunate, the lack of coordination thereof.
And they're obviously very much panicking here.
Yeah.
Honda taunting the enemy blue buff.
Fair play.
Fair play. Again, Easy Breeze landing hooks, but really making questionable plays revolving it. I don't think you want to have Malphite hooked into your ADC there. And it looks like Marmalade sorry, Easy Breeze is going to go down from the last part of the ult, so close to surviving, but it just does so much damage. And Marmalade's going to be the next one to fall. And Bacon goes down too. And it looks like Shadekeeper's trying to fight Jedi Ninja, but Jedi Ninja's just going to kill both of them here unless if Miss Engineer can somehow get on top of Xerath without dying here, but I doubt it's going to work.
No.
Which is another full ace for literally nothing from University of Idaho, as they will definitely end here. CEI just will not respond in time for this. It seems as if the first game was merely a prelude for University of Idaho to just give an even bigger smackdown in the second half.
It could have been the warm-up game.
It absolutely could have been the warm-up game, because it seems like they're making even less mistakes and making an even larger impact.
It has been squeaky clean, and that will be
And that was the last ditch effort.
Game 2 in the entirety of the series going the way of University of Idaho. Yep.
Another school to fall into the dust in the wake of University of Idaho.